Hey guys, what is up? Happy New Year and welcome to my top 10 games of 2014. Just remember that I did not play every game that came out in 2014, so this list is only comprised of games that I played during the year. So, without further ado, let's get on with the list. Enjoy. Number 10. Let me start off by saying I've never played an Infamous game before. Now, that being said, this game made me want to play the previous two Infamous games. Infamous Second Son has some of the best graphics I have ever seen to this day in any game ever made. It's the first truly next-gen game I ever played other than Killzone Shadowfall, but I don't like to talk about that game, and it did not disappoint. Now, despite the game having a new main character, new setting, new story, and everything, from what I'm seeing, Infamous Second Son still holds up to its predecessors. Second Son has a great story, great characters, and a great gameplay feel. The entire game feels smooth and polished, and it was a blast to use all the powers given to your character, except maybe the fact that they kept one power hidden until after the game, and at that point it was pretty much useless to use it. That being said, it was still a blast using them all, like I said, and I would recommend the game to anyone with a PS4 looking for a good game to play. This is why Infamous Second Son ranks at number 10 on my list. Number 9. ArcheAge is a now free-to-play Korean MMO developed by Tryon Games. It was not marketed as a free-to-play game, and I've only played it since it became free, but it is still a great game nonetheless. ArcheAge is very innovative and strays away from the typical MMO path, with its unique class system which allows you to mix 3 different playstyles, as well as its very fun addition of gliders and sailing. Not to mention, the game runs on CryEngine 3, which makes the game gorgeous to look at. The world is very detailed, and basically anything you come across can be interacted with in some way. It's easily the most fun I've personally had with an MMO since World of Warcraft, and the lack of a subscription puts it at number 9 on my list. Number 8. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, aside from having the best worst name of all time, originally came out in 2013. However, the PC release of the game came out in 2014, which is the version that I played. MGR Revengeance is made by Platinum Games, aka the king of all character action games, and it does not disgrace the title. Revengeance runs at a buttery smooth 60 frames per second the whole way through and has perfectly tight controls, making the combat extremely fun and enjoyable. As far as Metal Gear games go, I've never completed one, so I can't compare it to its predecessors, but I have still played my fair share of them. This game has a great story if you can grasp its ridiculousness, with lovable characters as well as villains you love to hate. Jetstream Sam is one of the best rivals I've ever encountered in a game, and even has one of the hypest, most intense battles to go along with it. In fact, this game has the absolute hypest boss battles I've seen in recent years, which alone make the game worth playing through. The game has tons of unlocks and is just so good you'll want to play through it at least one more time. All of these reasons are why Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance gets an 8 on my list. Number 7.
Dad was such a drag. Every day he'd eat the same.
PT, or Playable Teaser, is the demo for the new Silent Hills game. It was a stealth release on the PlayStation market and surprised gamers with its simple title. PT, while not being a full game, is still recognized on the list simply due to the fact that it is one of the best horror games I've ever played while not even being a full game. The entire game gives little direction or story, but slowly reveals itself as you play through it. You must loop through the entire hallway over and over as things subtly change. There was little to no jump scares and is still regarded as the scariest game in recent years, just going to show how well made it really is. In my opinion, the stealth release really added to this game and definitely makes me feel pumped for the release of Silent Hills. All of this being said, PT gets a 7 on my list for being one of the best demos and best ways in general to show off your game. Number 6.
Mario Kart 8!
It's a Mario Kart game. How could you not love it? Hell, it's easily the best Mario Kart I've ever played, and was damn near the reason I bought a Wii U. After watching this game on numerous live streams, I just had to play it, and holy crap did it not disappoint. MK8 may just be my favorite racing game of all time, with its incredibly tight controls, great cast of characters and kart customization, and awesome selection of tracks to choose from. I can say from experience that you will want to get the Gold Cup on every Grand Prix just because of how beautiful and fun the game is. It's a blast to drive, fly, and even go underwater in your kart throughout all the stages, regardless of what place you rank in. This game is a perfect party game and is an absolute ball with friends. Just be careful, it does have a reputation for ending some of those friendships as well. Mario Kart 8 ranks number 6 on my list. Number 5. Dark Souls. The game everyone loves to hate. Dark Souls 2 is known for being easier than the first Souls game, however it is mostly due to the fact that it refines almost every aspect of Dark Souls 1. The controls are tighter and more responsive, the level/upgrade systems make infinitely more sense, and the game has more clear direction and pacing than its predecessor. This isn't to say that Dark Souls 1 is now terrible due to this game's release, only that its lack of polish is now more clear. I completed Dark Souls 2 and instantly went on to New Game Plus because of how much I enjoyed the game. I did play the original Dark Souls before DS2, but it was on console, which is far less enjoyable due to crazy load times and much more. I am currently playing through DS1 on PC, however, and it is all thanks to Dark Souls 2 and its incredible polish, which is why it ranks number 5 on my list. Number 4. Wolfenstein: The New Order may just be the best single-player FPS to come out in a long time. Excluding BioShock Infinite, which, in case you were wondering, was my personal favorite game of 2013, Wolfenstein manages to bring a great story with wonderful characters to the table. It's a game that doesn't take itself too seriously, what with being able to dual-wield sniper rifles and the likes, yet manages to give you a cast of realistic characters in a setting that's strangely believable. It's easy to think of Wolfenstein's alternate reality setting as pure fantasy, but who really knows what would have happened should Nazi Germany have won World War II? It takes a believable turn of events to the extreme, with a 20th century setting full of futuristic weapons and machinery, throw in absolutely perfect first-person controls with a great selection of weapons and movement options, and you have a near-perfect FPS. Wolfenstein is an absolutely great shooter, hell, a great game in general, which is why it ranks at number 4 on my list. Number 3. Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is, in my opinion, the best Lord of the Rings game ever created. Yes, this game is basically Assassin's Creed mixed with the Batman Arkham series and set in Mordor. Yes, the literal sole purpose of this game is to kill Uruks over and over and over. But guess what? It's so polished and everything you do in this game is just so goddamn satisfying that it deserves to be on this list. The game actually has a good story with likable protagonists and fits in very well in the Lord of the Rings universe. I'm gonna be honest, I completely and totally expected this game to flop, and for a AAA title such as this to have absolutely destroyed my expectations like that is a wonderful feeling that you don't get very often in the gaming industry. I can't say that this game will be very fun for you if you aren't into the Lord of the Rings saga or medieval fantasy in general, but I will say that this is a game that everyone should try at some point, which is why it ranks at number 3 on my list. Number 2. Super Smash Bros. Guys, what can I say? It's Smash, it's the new Smash. Of course it's on the list, and it ranks at number 2 on this list. It's great, and if you don't know why, go play it. That's all. Number 1.
I'm still not bitten.
This fucking game. Let me just say this right off the bat. If you have not played the first season of The Walking Dead by Telltale Games, for the love of all that is holy, skip the rest of this game's review and go play it first. Okay, now then. The Walking Dead Season 2 takes place a couple of years after the events of the first season, with you playing as Clementine. Everything about this game displays Telltale's love and care for the series, from the gameplay and characters to the more polished interface and controls. Clementine is an absolutely astounding protagonist due to the fact that she is still a child, yet she has to deal with death, lies, and much worse every minute. You can play the role of the innocent kid or a child that has been shaped into a hardened adult due to the harsh world that they now live in, seeing as how the game gives you full control of how you want to shape your experience. All of the events from the first season carry over to Season 2, meaning you may just see some of the things from the original game in this one. I don't want to go into any detail on the story or characters themselves as to avoid spoilers, but I can safely say that this game is just as good as the first season, if not better, and that both are absolute must-plays for every gamer. Season 2 brings back the incredibly heartfelt moments from Season 1, and of course, the brutality and deceit that comes with an apocalypse. Telltale managed to make me actually believe in these characters and to care about every single one of them, and for that, The Walking Dead Season 2 is my favorite game of 2014. Thank you all so very much for watching my top 10 games of 2014. I hope that you can at least agree with one or two of my game choices, but if not, feel free to leave your top 10 or top 5 games down below in the comments, and I look forward to reading them. So yeah, as always, take care guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Have a great 2015.